Hey there adventurers, today's guide is on Abyss Floor 9, rotation from November the 2nd to November the 15th, just in case it rotates in the future. We will cover the problems we'll face on this floor, solution to those problems, strategy on the battlefield, target prioritization, gear, benedictions, and the overall thoughts while playing the floor. If you still have any questions by the end of this video, please comment down below so I can further assist you, and without further ado, let's dive into the Abyss. Let's start the groundwork of this guide by going over the blessings of the Abyssal Moon for this rotation. During your battles, you will notice a circle on the floor, or aura, that grants a boost. This rotation's boost increases your normal attack speed and damage after rapidly attacking an opponent with a normal or charge attack within a short period of time, and this effect stacks. Try your best to fight within the circle without jeopardizing your position. Now that the groundwork is covered, let's put up our walls by looking at the leyline disorder. Pyro and electrical damage on this floor is 75% stronger, and the overload damage is 200% stronger. Before it starts raining, let's slap the roof on this bad boy. Let's go over who we will be facing. Chamber 1. First and second half has the same enemies. We're dealing with large pyro and electric slimes, as well as a mutant electro slime. Chamber 2. We're dealing with the Fatui Electroke Mage as well as treasure hoarders of different varieties. For the second half, we're dealing with Cryo Gunners, Geo Chanters, amenoboxers, and the Lightning Hammers. Chamber 3, we're dealing with the Geo Bishop Hatchling and the Stonehide Lawachurl as well as the Ruin Guard. Okay, now I want to go over all three first halves, the problems we will face, and the solutions. So, coming up with the first slimes that we are going to encounter, you can really use anything to kill these guys. I will be using physical mostly, as well as some AoEing. But what's important to just remember is that, the electricity is going to be immune to the electro slimes and the fire to the pyro slimes. So make sure that you have a threat to deal with both of these elements, or just go physical. Can't go wrong with that. The Electro Mage is very easy to deal with. I love bringing like a Claymore user because I can just stagger them over and over and over again. If you're taking too long to kill her, she might generate a Thunder Shield, at which point it's best to use like Amber or someone who can overload or just destroy that shield from afar, because you don't want to get too close to that thing. Treasure hoarders don't really present any problems on this floor. However, they are kind of spread apart. So if you have the Wind Traveler, Sucrose, Venti, these are really good options just to group them up and AoE them down. So regarding the Geo Bishop Hatchling, really he's not too much of a threat. You can run like a water cryo comp just to freeze him. For the Stonehide Lawachurl, just hit him with a Claymore until his shield is gone, and you'll be a-okay. Alright, going over the second half. Now, these are all the opponents you're going to face on the second half. So here are the problems. Once again, we have the same slimes as before. Use physical or really any element, it doesn't matter. Just remember that your fire attacks are going to be immune against the pyro slimes, and your electric attacks are going to be immune against the electric slimes. Now, the Cryo Gunner, I love facing this guy, because when he gives himself the ice shield, you literally just hit it with fire and he sees himself, because he just drops to his butt and then he's sitting there for like a good 5, 6, 7 seconds. So definitely bring a fire to deal with this guy. You can use Amber, you can use Zingling, you can use Diluc, Klee, whoever, bring a fire to the party. I would definitely avoid being in his melee range when he's shooting his ice flamethrower. You do not want to be tanking that. The Fatui skirmishers, I recommend bring a Cairo damage dealer. They don't even have to be your active, just someone who can get the ice on the field to charge Superconduct and then switch to your melee and shred them. Or if you have someone who does consistent ice damage, you can just keep applying the ice over and over and over again until it destroys the electric shield, which will also, make them very squishy and easy to deal with. Amenoboxers and Geo Chanters, personally, they are not threats at all. Amenoboxers can be annoying. Geo Chanters also. The Amenoboxers are annoying because they can crowd control if you hit their shield with an element. If you want more information on amenoboxers, I'm going to link a video that I made specifically on them down below, because a lot of people don't understand how they CC. And the Geochanters, the only reason why they're annoying is if you don't have a Claymore user, or if you're dealing range and they throw up that shield, you have to like go into melee, and if there's like other melee units in there, it's just a really bad time. But I normally leave them for last because they're not much of a threat at all. And with the Rune Guards, I recommend using Superconduct because they have a very high physical defense, or just hit their weak points and you'll be fine. So what's really important to understand is that you don't need a specific character, and if you don't have a specific character that I threw up on here for solutions or that I'm using myself for this run, all you need to do is understand what role that character is playing and who on your team or who in your roster can either replicate that role or come up with another solution to that problem. Alright, so now that we've built our house, time to fill it up with furniture. Let's take a look at our team comp and their gear. For the first half, I decided to go Jean, Venti, Xingling, and Chongyun. Why? Venti's job is to gather all the enemies. My Xingling's job is to burn them down with her ultimate. Chongyun is there to destroy the shields off the lava churl, and Jean is there because none of those three heroes are built as an active DPS or a healer, so she will be filling that role. For my second half, I decided to go Razor, Amber, Chi-Chi, and Barbara. My Sucrose and Traveler are not built, and since Razor is technically 85% physical damage, that's just an odd number, but he's mostly physical, he's going to do great into the Pyro and Electrical Slimes, as well as the Amenoboxer and Geochanter because he's a Claymore user. Amber will help me against the Cryo Gunner, and Chi-Chi is here to provide Cryo so I can Superconduct both the Fatui, Electro Hammer, and the Ruin Guard. Barbara is healed because she has Thrilling Tales for her additional damage to my active DPS, as well as 6 Constellation Resurrection in case I want to go full retard. Now, let's take a look at their gear. Alright, let's start with Jean. Jean's level 60. Her talents are not maxed. I have no constellations on her. And her weapon is level 60. It is Refinement Rank 3. The artifacts I'm running on her is a 2-set Gladiator and a 2-set Maiden Beloved. I'm running attack percent, physical damage cup, and attack percent. The point of this build is just a cheap way to increase her overall healing. Onward to Venti. Now Venti's level 80. He's using the Favonius Warbow. He is kind of talented up besides his first talent. He is max Constellation. And with the Viridescent Force set, it's going to help his Swirl and reduce elemental resistance. He's running attack percent, amino damage cup, and attack percent. And the purpose of this is to help empower his E, since it's a very high multiplier, as well as the amino damage coming from both his E and his ultimate. So, here we have Xingling. She is level 70, max con, using the Dragon's Bane. She's running 4-set Witch of Flames, going attack percent, pyro damage, and attack percent. I'm just trying to buff up her fire damage here. And our boy Chongyun, he's level 40 with a level 50 Favonius Greatsword. He has no talents, 1 constellation that I recently got, and he has a 4-set Gladiator. I just threw this on him because I had it. There's really no rhyme or reason here. I did give him an HP percent cut just so he can survive, because I don't need him to do anything besides not get one shot. As long as he swings his sword, no matter how hard he hits, it's going to remove this shield the same way. Next, we'll look at Razor. He's on a 4-piece Gladiator set. He is level 80 with a level 80 weapon, the Battle Pass weapon. His talents are max currently, as best as I can. He is 1 constellation at the moment, and I am running attack percents on him with a physical damage cup. need to replace that helmet. Now we have Amber. She's level 70 using, I don't believe I show it, but it's a prototype, the bow you can make. Her talents are pretty much max. She's 2 Constellation, and she's running the 4-piece Switch of Flames, attack percent, power damage, attack percent, and we're just focusing on her charge shot and her ultimate, as well as her explosion from the taunt. Chi-Chi's here, level 60 with the level 40 weapon, the flute, whenever I show it. Chi-Chi's level 60 with a level 40 flute. I am currently working on her talents. She's 0 Con, and she's running 2 Cent Maiden, 2 Cent Gladiator Finale. We're trying to go, or we're going attack percent on all artifacts to increase her healing potency. Next, we have Barbara at level 60. She's doing okay on her talents, so we gotta level these up a little bit. She is max Constellation. She's wielding a level 50 Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Book. In terms of her artifacts, she's running HP percent, 4-piece Maiden Beloved for the healing. Now let's enter the Abyss. We're going to pick up the character elemental skill damage benediction here. On this floor, with my current team, I want to pile them up into one group so I can AoE them down. I'm going to start by positioning my Venti behind this flame slime and use the system's auto-targeting to create an ultimate near the middle of the room due to my positioning in relation to my target. Next, I'm going to hop to my Xingling and pop all cooldowns. I will also do this with Chongyun. Next, I will follow with my Venti E. Notice how after that full AoE rotation, my Venti is back at 100% energy. However, he has 3 seconds until his ultimate elemental burst is up. This is the reasoning behind Jean. Now I'm going to switch to her and just dish out as much damage as I can while paying attention to the enemies that spawn in my positioning to get off another great Venti elemental burst. This will be rinse and repeat until the end of the first half.
And watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Can't contain him, he knows he works. This hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. I bleed it.
So on this floor, we're gonna just rely on Razor's physical damage. I won't be using his E unless there's a flame slime in front of me. However, I will be using his elemental burst for the increased attack speed. Since these are electric slimes, I'm gonna use my cryo damage to inflict superconduct to help me shred their physical defense. But I'm gonna be switching to Barbara and leading with her before I switch to Razor just for the thrilling dragon debuff. Now I'm gonna also try to best position myself to hit as many enemies that I can. This will be repeated until the end of the second half.
I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I bleed it out. I bleed it out.
Now we're going to go ahead and pick up the elemental burst damage benediction here. And in this floor we have a bunch of treasure hoarders. Just like the first chamber, I want to group them up and AoE them down. So using Venti, I'm going to position myself behind this brute and AoE into the middle of the floor. After using my AoE rotation, I still have about 5 seconds left on Venti's ultimate, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to Jean to fill in this downtime. Once we get down to only 3 enemies left, I'm going to try to Venti ult the Electric Mage and the rest of the other 2 that are alive and AoE them down for the end of the first half.
We are the angry and the desperate, the hungry and the
Now, this second half is probably the hardest part for most people. So there's a lot of ways to play this. The Cryo Gunner and the Electro Hammer are the most threatening on the team. The amenoboxer is annoying because of his CC, and the Geochanter, he's kind of useless unless you're playing a ranged character. Personally, this is how I would handle the floor. We're just going to apply some burn to the Cryo Gunner and backing up, creating distance between us and the enemies. I want to do this so that the amenoboxer can outrun his allies and run into me where he isolates himself, allowing me to destroy him without worrying too much. I drop a taunt trying to place it in the path of the Cryo Gunner to keep him busy a bit longer, because unlike the Electro Fatui, the Cryo Gunner can be annoying to deal with in melee range. I quickly switch to Chi-Chi to apply Cryo, Barbara for the healing and the thrilling tales, and then back into Razor to go all in. Unfortunately for me, my taunt placement was subpar and didn't have the effect that I wanted. However, thanks to Chi-Chi and Barbara, the damage I took is being healed up, and at this time, they will all take damage from my Razor, but I have a time limit. I need to kill the Boxer before the Cryo Gunner uses his Ice Thrower, because his ice is going to force me to back up. Now that the amenoboxer is dead, I quickly assess the battlefield. The two high priority targets are in front of me, and one of them is under 20% HP. I will quickly target focus him. 2 down, 2 to go. As stated before, Geochanters are 100% useless, and at most an annoyance to those without a claymore or those who are fighting with range. My next target will be the Electro Fatui. Unfortunately, he has his shield up, which gives him increased defense, so I'm going to switch to my Ice User, apply Superconduct, and then shred him. Now, with him going down, we're just going to swing our Claymore until the Geochanter is dead. I don't like the Sprint Benediction much, so I'm going with the attack speed increase on this one. My first priority is to remove the buff on the Stonehide Lava Churl to remove his ability to fuck shit up. My second priority will be to watch the floor and avoid the ground mechanics by dodging or using my Elemental Burst iframes. While doing these two things, I will also try to chip away at the Geo's hatchling with my AoE. Once the Lava Churl is dead, I will finish the hatchling. Using my Claymore user, I'm going to remove the Stonehide Lava Churl shield, which greatly reduces what he does on this floor. I will use my Elemental Burst to iframe his telegraphed attack. Once I dodge his last attempt to kill my undergear level 40 Chongyun, I will switch to Jean and start swapping through everyone's abilities to get this guy down as fast as I can. This AoE team is not the best at dealing single target damage. I'm using the Stonehide's body to separate myself from the hatchling to reduce incoming damage and crowd control.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but soon the sting will pass. But names can dig so many graves, you won't know where to stand. And I don't feel secure no more unless I'm being followed. And the only way to hide myself is to kill the hell of a show. How do I form a connection where we can't even shake hands? You're like a phantom greeting me. We plot in the shadows, hang out in the gallows, stuck in a loop for eternity. Do you know why the flowers never bloom? Will you retry or let the pain consume? I need a new leader, we need a new looter.
I ended up actually killing the hatchling with my AoE while only focusing on the Stonehide Lava Churl, so that's a plus. There's some really bad Venti ults, but not much you can do on the edge of the map, and we're just going to rinse and repeat our strat until the end of this first half. Alright, so we're almost there. With this team comp, my goal is to apply Superconduct on the Ruined Guards to their high defense and shred them fast. If they start spinning and denying me melee real estate, I will swap over to my Amber and pop them in their weak spot. Remember, if you're running Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer, to lead with Barbara right before you switch to your active DPS in order to grant them that damage steroid. In this fight, I am trying my best to group them together so I can hit both of them at the same time, while dodging and making sure I'm getting through my auto combo rotation on Razor and using my first auto attack and E whenever I can. And this is just going to be a straightforward fight all the way into the end. That's going to be it for this guide. Remember, you don't need specific champions, you just need to understand each layer of the Abyss and what problems you will face on that floor. Answer them with the characters you have. Stay tuned for my floor 10 guide. Peace.